Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Welcome back to the Scalable Law Podcast. It's great to have you here. Now, I've been wanting to do this podcast for a really long time because it is a question that gets asked all the time. It's super important what practice management system we use at our law firm, and moving practice management systems is a really big deal. So it's really important that you get it right for your law firm. Now, we moved last year from one practice management system to another, and I've been wanting to do a series on what that looked like for us at Collective Family Law and how we managed the move, and really what some of the hurdles were that we came up against. I will probably also invite my operations manager, Femke, on the podcast as well, as she was the one who did all of the work when it came to moving our practice management system from Leap to Clio. So let's get stuck in and pull back the curtain on the decision that's the big shift in our law firm operations, moving from Leap to Clio as our core practice management software. This episode is all about why we made the switch, how we managed the transition, and what the outcome has been so far. In podcasts in the future, I will go into a little more detail about some of the technical aspects. So whether you're a law firm owner or you are considering starting your own law practice and thinking about the practice management system, this is a podcast for you. So first of all, let's talk about why at Collective Family Law we decided to leave Leap as our practice management software. So let me start by saying Leap served us very well for a number of years. In fact, it was more than just a number of years. It was 16 years that we ran Leap. We started with Leap in 2009. And over the years, it has evolved, but so has our law firm. And Leap is a popular choice here in Australia for many firms, and it may be a right fit for you as a firm. That is something that you will have to investigate. But over time, we found that Leap didn't align with the direction we wanted to take our firm, and simply wasn't as scalable or cloud focused or client focused either. So some of the challenges that we ran into on a regular basis with Leap is that we felt that it was quite clunky, especially for family law documents such as consent orders. Sometimes it would simply not save those documents and it would be an absolute disaster and waste of time. It was also really difficult in terms of reporting and insights. We wanted to have better visibility on our KPIs, team performance, and the client journey data. But Leap's reporting was a bit basic and it's quite difficult to manipulate. So that was also something. And I'm not going to lie, the fees were getting quite expensive. So we were paying around $220 per user. And upon our renewal, it was going to be in the $300 range, which over 14 or so licenses adds up quite significantly. So for us, it was a no-brainer to be moving somewhere else. And I had actually wanted to move for several years, but they have lock-in contracts. And every time I tried to move, I had just left it too late. Within several months before the contract was up, Leap wouldn't let you go month to month, which I guess is a great strategy on their part. Because of my disorganization, we would have to renew with Leap. And this actually happened several times in a row. So that's about 6 years we were on Leap when I really wanted to go somewhere else. But the other issue was I was sort of thinking, where will we go? What platform would be best for us? And I didn't really see any of the others as any more competitive. So I just left it. And then I went over to ClioCon in 2022 and my mind was blown how amazing this product was. And I knew straight away that when Clio decided to come to Australia and be available to Australian law firms, that I would love to become one of their customers, which is exactly what we did when we were able to finalize our license with Leap. So let's talk about why we chose Clio and why it appealed to us as a family law practice. So the first thing is that Clio is cloud native. What that means is that it is truly a cloud-based product, which means that it really suits those work from home flexible arrangements and remote team members, which we have more and more of. And I personally like being able to be remote as well. Not that I need to log on a regular basis to Clio for client work, but sometimes I still do need to get on there and check reporting and things like that. So it is ideal for me. I can work off my MacBook or any computer and simply log in, which is absolutely amazing and a real game changer. The other thing is that it's got a really great ecosystem. Clio integrates beautifully with so many different tools like Xero or Calendly, VXT, which is something we've onboarded recently for our phone systems. And, it has great integrations, which work so well when you're trying to tech stack and add different components to the law firm to make it really tech savvy and streamlined. The other thing is that Clio has got custom workflows. You can pretty much tailor Clio to whatever you need for your law firm. So unlike other practice management systems where you log on and that's what you've got, with Clio, you do have to set it up to suit your firm. So there's the disadvantage that you have to get it all set up so that it suits your firm, but there's the advantage that you get it customized exactly for your law firm and what you need. In Clio, the pipelines and the matter stages work really, really well. You can set it up so you can see exactly what stage a matter is at. It's also a really great product for client-facing features. So it has got real-time updates and a secure document portal that you can share with clients. And what that means is that inside the matter, you just need to tick what you want in the client portal, and then they can properly see everything that's going on in their portal. So they don't need to be asking you for documents or did you send this to me, because it can be just uploaded into their portal and they can log on and see it there. There is also amazing data access. It's got really great reporting. The dashboard is really awesome. You can see all the KPIs and how the team is going. It makes managing team performance a lot easier. The other thing that I really liked about it and it appealed to me is Clio Grow, which is the front end pipeline for your intake and appointments. That is an incredible integration that works really well with Clio Manage. So there's two separate areas. One is Manage, which is exactly what we're used to a practice management system doing, plus all those great integrations and features. But then the Grow is really all of your marketing. It also has a great CRM. What we were doing before is we were sending out newsletters to clients or potential clients, but we were having to download all of their details to get them into another separate CRM system. And same with the questionnaires, for example. We would get clients to fill out a questionnaire before they came into the firm, and then we would have to manually put in all the client details to open the file and be ready for that first initial appointment. Whereas with Clio Grow, it integrates for you so that you don't have to do all of that work. So there's a massive savings of time there for the team, which is really, really awesome. It's super user-friendly. I've never had any issues with it. It's not glitchy or anything like that. It integrates with your Outlook. It integrates with Word so that you open a document, you can work on the document inside Clio, and then you save the document, and you can do that in folders so that you know where everything is. So it has been a little bit of, getting used to organizing things, but once you've got all of that up and running, it works absolutely beautifully. The other really amazing thing about Clio, like as a company, I think the company's got a great culture, and it really does. You can feel it as a customer. As a customer of Clio, you are not just another number. They know who you are, and if you have an issue, they are there to help you resolve it. In my previous experience, it was really difficult getting any sort of level of assistance or customer service or care, and it felt like the only time we had any care or customer service was right before renewal time. So we are about 7 or 8 months into our Clio journey, and I could not be happier with the transition and the move. So let's talk a little bit about how we made that transition happen. And I want to talk further about this in more detail in podcasts in the future, because I know that this will be really helpful. One of the reasons that I didn't want to move, or I put off moving and kept paying exorbitant fees, was because I was worried about the move and the transition, because everyone tells you what a nightmare it is. The first thing I want to say is that for us, it definitely was a smooth transition. And one of the reasons for that is that we had a 8 or 9 month lead time. So we knew we were going to make the transition a year out, and then we started making movements to make it happen and really timelined it out so that there was a lot of room for things to go wrong if they were going to go wrong, and for us to rectify them. The other thing is that we had planned to finalize our move and our migration by September, and our LEAP license wasn't running out until November. So we gave ourselves a good 60-day overlap. And I think that that is a really sensible thing to do if your firm can afford to do that. So I'm not going to pretend it's not a big task, because it is a really big task moving to a new practice management system, but you definitely can do it in a really great, smooth way if you plan it out in the way that we did. So here is what we did. We really worked out what features we needed, and we made sure that Clio had all of those, and that we were able to program those features in as well. We got a migration expert to help us, and that really helped because they were able to do a lot of the planning with us, and they are experts in making these migrations happen smoothly. So it was fairly straightforward from that point of view, giving it over to someone else. That does come at a cost. For our firm, it was about $20,000. But I did work out that if I kept, say, one LEAP license open and we didn't properly transfer over, it would be more than $20,000 to do that. And then we would have like a higgledy-piggledy kind of job done. So it just made more sense to pay the money and do the job properly and get everything migrated over. Team training was super straightforward and simple. The team hopped on and did lots of training with the Clio team at no extra cost. So I know some practice management systems, they charge you for that training. We weren't charged for that training, so that is super helpful as well. And we recorded those trainings so that other team members can use that training as we onboard new team members. Yeah, as I said, we did have a dual run period where we ran both systems for a short period of time just to make sure that everything was fine before we actually turned off LEAP. So that worked really well. And then lastly, something that people ask a lot about when it comes to Clio is the precedents. Clio doesn't come preloaded with a whole bunch of precedents, and lots of practice management systems don't. You do have to maybe purchase those as an extra add-on or integration. For us, we have an excellent precedent bank that we own, that is our own precedent bank that we have developed. I employed a senior lawyer, to redo all of our precedents for our firm a couple of years ago, and they've been updated with the recent changes. So for us, we didn't need a precedent bank. We had one that was ours and developed by us. What we did have to do is we had to download the precedent bank, upload it into Clio, and code it so that everything was merging nicely. That is just a time-consuming job. It's not a hard job. So we were able to do that because we had all of that lead time. So our amazing Femke did all of that for us. One of the hiccups that we had along the way was that Leap wouldn't allow us to download our documents. So people believe that they keep your data and all of that kind of stuff. They don't keep your data. They allow you to move over your clients and all of that sort of thing, but they don't allow you to download your documents, and they do hold your documents ransom for a cash exchange. So that was actually a bit of an expense that I didn't plan on. It cost our firm $14,000 to get our documents downloaded to us by Leap. It was not a nice tasting bill. I was pretty annoyed about it, but you've just got to do these things and know why you're moving and get on with it. So that's exactly what we did. So let's talk about what's improved since the switch. Well, the first thing that is outstandingly improved is that the fee for running our practice management system for my law firm, and this is before the fees went up, is significantly less. I think we were paying about $3,000 or thereabouts to Leap. Our fee with Clio for the amount of licenses that we have is only about $2,000 a month. So that is a massive improvement. The other really great thing about Clio is that you're not in a lock-in contract. So what that means is that when you turn off licenses or turn on licenses, you have the freedom to do that as you grow or as you shrink. And as I said to you in my previous podcast, that we've had a few team members shifting around this year, and we've reduced the number of lawyers earlier in the year, and now we've picked up some new lawyers. So we've got new lawyers and new licenses. And the great thing about that is that we can turn it on and turn it off as we need to, rather than previously, if we got a new license, we were then stuck with that new license, even if our employee had left. So that's where there's a massive savings and cost savings. It means that we have the freedom to grow. And the reality is, in law firms, you're going to have growth, and you're going to have times where people leave your firm as well. And why keep the license running for 2 or 3 months while you're trying to replace people if you don't need to, right? So that is a massive improvement since switching. We have excellent integrations now, which I'm really excited about. One of the integrations that is my favorite is with VXT. It is a game changer. So Clio and VXT work like a harmonious, magical thing where time recording is automated for phone calls, transcribing is automated. It goes straight into your Clio file. So that is really, really amazing. There are improvements in our, trust accounting and our accounting. Everything seems to be working really, really well there with fewer bottlenecks. And there is less time spent on admin tasks and more time spent on legal work, which is really helpful as well. All of this, of course, is still a work in progress, and we're continuing to optimize and also look at all the different options for integration and what we can actually do with Clio, because there is so much. If you're running a law firm and you're thinking about moving a practice management system, I would definitely encourage you to have a demo with Clio. And if you are a listener to the podcast, you can email me on carolee@scalablelaw.com and I will get you a special deal so that you can trial it for free for a longer period so that you can really have a look and see if it's for you or not. So for us, Clio has definitely been the right step, but the key was aligning our tech with our goals and also giving ourselves a really good runway to do the migration so that it wasn't super stressful. So if you are thinking about it, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to share my insights and experiences as to how we have gone with the transition. So today, I just wanted to give you an overview of our move to Clio and how it went for us. I am going to dig in a little deeper when I get Femke on the show because she does know a lot more about the migration than I do. She also has a lot of insights into the accounts component and the trust accounting, which I know is of interest to a lot of you. Thank you for tuning in today. If this episode has been helpful, please leave a review or share it with someone else who's navigating the legal tech maze out there. Until next time, keep scaling and keep happy in your law firm. Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.